What's up everybody, and welcome to another Warframe video. I have finally risen to the rank of 14 with Nora Night and the Nightwave and got my hand on the reward, and that is the one I've been really looking forward to, Wild Frenzy. It's been a while since we've had a weapon augment mod. In fact, I can't remember quite when we last got one. Anyway, Wild Frenzy, a mod for the community favourite weapon, the Grakata, the favourite weapon of our hero Clem, who wields two of them. Well, what does it do? It adds that ability to use a secondary fire mode to the weapon, and that turns the thing into a full-on minigun. It adds 400% fire rate to the weapon and removes the ability to aim. If you manage to kill two enemies while you're in full-on Daka mode, you get all the ammo refunded from that magazine. Once you activate it though, you can't stop firing until the magazine is empty. But you can activate it when the magazine is partially used and still regen the ammo used. It's a really simple mod, nothing more to it than that, and can fit pretty nicely into any Grakata build. So when it comes to actually modding the Prism Grakata, I went with a pretty much standard crit build, to be perfectly honest with you, except for one difference. Normally I will put Prime Shred on to be my extra fire rate as well as the punch through, and you want punch through on this 100%. But I decided against Prime Shred this time around. The punch through works really nicely with Wild Frenzy, because obviously killing two or more refunds you ammo, so being able to punch through enemies and kill stuff on the other side is absolutely something you want to do. The thing with the Prime Shred is, for me, the extra fire rate just actually hindered more than it helped. It made the weapon way too uncontrollable for my liking, especially since you cannot aim down the sights. And it also meant that when I was trying to switch targets to try and potentially get the second one, it actually often ran out, like the magazine ran out whilst I was trying to reacquire the new target. So I went with Vigilante Offense because it gives you the extra punch through, but also has a 5% chance to enhance the crits, which go from a yellow to an orange crit, which gives you an additional damage multiplier, and actually 5% doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're firing 21, nearly 22 rounds a second, actually is pretty decent. So that's why I decided to go with this. So what do I think of the mod? Well, right now it's kind of buggy, and there's a couple of things, well, really one thing I don't particularly like, but God, boy is it fun. When you're running around a map and running through a door and you're faced with a corridor full of enemies, activating this secondary fire and going full on Daka, just slaughtering them is so much fun. You know me, I love theatre. Looking and sounding good goes a long way, and the feel you get from your Grakata, when it's suddenly 400% faster, you're frantically trying to hold onto that recoil, trying to keep the crosshair on the target, it's a huge amount of fun. The one thing I don't particularly like is the way it stops you from aiming. I like to be able to aim, and that helps me keep my recoil control a lot better. I'm used to the way it recoils, but only when I'm aiming down the sights, so that removal of that really doesn't help. Plus, if you're aim gliding and you activate it, you pretty much fall straight out of the air, so I definitely wouldn't recommend that. The Grakata, though, might not be the best sort of high-end weapon. It does struggle with level 100 heavy gunners when you start removing, you know, straight damage mods like you have to fit in the augment. However, this doesn't really matter so much. At low to mid-level, the augment is a silly amount of fun, and if used correctly, even at those higher levels, lining up squishier targets alongside those tankier ones means that honestly you'll still get your damage output as well as your ammo regen. I did mention it's kind of buggy right now. That is unfortunately the case. Right now, if you switch target too early and one of the enemies dies to a slash proc, even though it's caused by the weapon, it doesn't count towards the 2 kills, which can lead to a few moments where it doesn't proc and you have no idea why. Plus, it can also just break on you entirely as well. Had it a bunch of times where it's just stopped working for no real reason. It will still do the fire rate, but it won't refund any of the ammo, which is a shame, because without the ammo return, it becomes just slightly ammo inefficient, so you'll stop using it for that mission, and you've basically got an empty slot. However, once the bugs with it are ironed out, this mod is a silly amount of fun. For the people that like pushing the maximum damage out of something, this might not be for you. But for those enjoying derping around with a really fun weapon and a fun mod, I think you're going to enjoy this one. If you've got the mod already, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I shall catch you in the next one.